Good afternoon. This is Micaiah Jackson with the JFK Report. We're here in downtown Phoenix at the American Fest, hosted by Turning Point USA. And standing next to me is a patriotic woman. You are an attorney. Her name is Shultz. And what you do is you fight for patients that are being held in hospitals that is illegal to be held by a hospital.
Yeah, actually, crazy enough, I got into this particular aspect of the health and freedom fight when my own in-laws, who live on our street and we're very close with them, I found myself in a situation where they both ended up at separate ICUs at the same time. And I'm their medical power of attorney, so I fought like hell to get them out. My mother-in-law died. My father-in-law, we were finally able to get him out after 27 days. But for 6 days, they deprived him of hydration and nourishment, except for one bag of D5 water. And this is here at a hospital in Arizona at Mayo. And then they experimented on him with something called baricitinib, which is it's like an old RA drug that they repurposed on the Fauci Mangala protocol for hospitals to use after only testing it on 764 people, and it causes blood clots and bleeds. And then they kept him in seclusion, even though they used the word isolation. They kept him from his family and from everyone for 24 days, which is completely out of control because in Arizona, the state guidelines are 10 days post-onset of symptoms to isolate. So essentially, he could have a nurse taking care of him or a doctor taking care of him that had COVID more recently than he did, but he couldn't even see his own family. Have you heard any other types of stories like this yet?
I have not, and this is what's really interesting. Like, this is actual real news stuff that needs to be just breaking news, because everyone wants to talk about January 6th, the vaccine. That it's the same thing every day, and conservative news outlets like the ones all here, they need to be talking about that. There's real stuff that's going on that's actually impacting the American people. And what baffles me is, when does the hospital have a say or a right to hold you against your own will? You don't sign no paperwork. They're not the Constitution. They're not God. They're not a jail. That's no. It don't work that way. That's when people just need to get up and leave. That's just wrong. I've never heard anything like that, and I'm just glad you're fighting this, because we need more people, more women like yourself as well, to fight this and make sure this isn't happening anymore. This is ridiculous. So what is it that you can do so we can put the light to this and stop ending this madness, what they're doing to the American people, which is unconstitutional and ungodly and unethical?
Well, since this situation happened, I really feel like it has just become my mission. Like, this is what I was born to do, and I founded an organization called Hands for Health and Freedom. You can find us at handsforhealthandfreedom.org, and we've had hundreds of families reach out that have been similarly situated. So it really doesn't matter if someone's vaccinated or not vaccinated. We have all types of people that have been deprived of hydration in the hospitals for a week at a time. Many of them have died, many of them have lived and are wanting to do something about this. And so we have developed a criminal complaint that people can file on their own. And as long as you can find a willing sheriff or attorney general or, prosecutor to accept this, then it can be investigated and criminal charges will be brought. We have many, many people doing this. It's on our website. It's all free, and we hope that you make your way over there to handsforhealthandfreedom.org and check it out. This criminal complaint also applies to the jab mandates, because it is still under the same thing. They're experimenting on people without informed consent. So right now, many people don't realize that the vaccine, gene therapy agent, is not fully approved. It is still experimental. In August 2021, they got the approval on the Comirnaty, but that is for a biologics license application, and that is not available for distribution anywhere in the world until a minimum of 2023. At the same time, they extended the emergency use authorization on the existing Pfizer vaccine. And they had their media cohorts do a sort of a bait and switch and make people think that it's the same thing. But in the biologics license application of Comirnaty, it says they are legally distinct with certain differences. And a judge has even ruled that they are different. So any employer or government institution who is mandating someone to get and participate in a medical experiment under duress of losing their job, under deceit, and under this coercion is also potentially liable for crimes against humanity, which has universal jurisdiction, and that criminal complaint can be found on the handsforhealthandfreedom.org website. Thank you.
Oh, that's so glad to hear. I'm glad you're fighting and putting the fight to it, because there's so much going on in this country right now we're not even hearing about. I'm glad I was able to speak to you, Allie, and you guys heard it from this patriotic woman, what she's doing, and she gave you the information what you could do to help out. It was a pleasure speaking to you with you, Allie.
You too.
Thank you.